up? What's up? What's up? What's happening? What's good? What's up with everyone out there? Y'all know what it is. Y'all know who it is. It's TrotWAM on Twitter. Walter Trotter the Sum. I'm here joined with my fellas, my bros, Real Simple 4, Eddie, and my guy LJ from H-Town, obviously making his return right back here. You know, man, it's a crazy day starting off, man. I just sent the tweet out. Paul George tested positive for what? What? What's going on? What's going on here the day of the game? Paul George now Woj just tweeted out tested positive for coronavirus, or he's placed in health and safety protocols. What the fuck is going on today? So yeah, today's a great day. I'm starting off feeling good. I'm with my guys here. I want to introduce them first before I had to say that, but man, come on, that's some crazy ass news. My guy Eddie, man, how do you feel today, bro? I see you, bro. You feeling good? You got the sunshine on you, man. How you feeling, bro? I like your car,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm
Shit
say
looks
I'm over here.
flaring there.
Yeah, I'm over here blown out, bro, with the sun and shit. But that's a good day, man. It's a good day. Beautiful Friday, sunny weather in California. Just got that news, man. So I don't know how to feel really. I'm still trying to process everything as far as this goes. But that the whole NBA, man, Adam Silver, what he's doing, I don't understand what's going on with this COVID protocol. You do this right before the game, like Pelican backers got to be loving the news, but. I don't know, man. I'm a little confused, flabbergasted, or whatever word you want to use, because it's crazy, man. But yeah, other than that, I'm loving life right now, man.
Bruh, I am fucking yeah, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day, man. How about you, my guy LJ? You out there in the H Town, man. How's it out there, bro? How the weather out there? How you feeling, my brother?
Well, the weather's kind of muggy, raining, but hey, I like it like this. I'm not really a sun hot kind of guy. I like it muggy, because, I like the breeze, I like to feel the breeze. But far as this
Right.
game, I'm loving it because I was on the Pelicans anyway. I jumped on the Pelicans
Hey.
+4 last night, and I was going to tell y'all that I was going to sprinkle on the money line today just to take a chance. But hey, I
Hmm.
think this news gives me a little bit more confidence in my play. So we'll see what happens. But like we just talked about before the show started, this has happened before, and teams seem to play better when their star player is out. So it could go either way. We just gotta wait and see how it turns out.
Yeah, so I'm on the other side. I was on the other side of that. I said it yesterday on the NBA Pub Show. My best bet was to Clippers win by margin here. Thought they were going to win by double digits with Paul George in the lineup. Now I think it's a scrappy game. It's a muggy, as my guy LJ just said. It's a muggy type game now without Paul George in the game. But at the same damn time, like you did say, bro, we see this shit every time. Obviously, it's an overreaction when somebody's out, and it's gonna be a fucking avalanche of money dropping in on the Pelicans. You know what I mean? As soon as they open it up. So at this
Yeah.
point, I don't know if I'm gonna sit back and wait. I'm already locked in on the 4. I'm already locked in on the 4 right now. If you like 4, you're getting plus 200 at the least. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that's
Yeah.
gonna be something that you gotta go back and jump it. I'm hoping they win the free throw battle down the line. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that's the case. But for the most part, bro, and shout out to my guy DJ Big Boss. I see you say in the chat in our in our chat, bro. You can't trust them Palmdale, them Palmdale brothers. So you can't trust the Valley motherfuckers, huh? I don't know what I was thinking, my guy. I don't know what I was thinking. No, but I still think they hold it down. I don't know what Ty Lue does though. That's one thing that is concern me. I'm
Mhm.
not gonna lie. Just getting something like this thrown into you right before the game starts, like you going through walkthroughs, bro. You know what I'm saying? And there you go. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you were just saying, trash that shit, bro. Because you got to change it up. But
Mhm.
at the same time, they kind of played very similar to what they were playing without Paul George. He was out for quite a while. This team was still doing pretty damn good, still being able to compete with high level teams. And as far as this Pelicans team, not sure how high level it is. My whole point with breaking down this game, it really had something to do with Paul George. I would say that, but I didn't write Paul George's name down at all on any of my notes. To be honest with you, what I wrote down here is that the Clippers have been covering the first half, which they have been. They covered 5 straight, and it's pretty much the opposite for the Pelicans, especially on the road. They haven't been really covering on the road in the first half. Last game that they played, it was Isaiah Hartenstein and Zubac, who had 23 rebounds. The Clippers are terrible at rebounds. This is the big difference for the New Orleans Pelicans, like in this game. It said, can they hold down the rebounds? None of this shit had to do with Paul George to me. So now that I'm talking myself out of here, I still like the Clippers, dog. I still like the Clippers. I still think they're gonna win this game. And I hate the shit that happened like this. The shit's some bullshit. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you. But I still think the Clippers be able to hold down the rebounds. And if that's the case, it's all about who's shooting the best and who's been shooting the best all year long with or without Paul George in the lineup. It's gonna be the Clippers, bro. They shooting a lot better. And if we pull up the stats, I didn't think I had to pull up the stats without Paul George because I thought he was gonna be in the lineup, so I would have had that ready. But I'm sure if you pull up the stats, they still were, if I remember correctly, they still were a top 10 3-point shooting team within that time frame, and they may be getting their best 3-point shooter in the game in Luke Kennard back today. So I still like the Clippers, dog. Whatever the fuck that should open up back up, that's gonna be another play I'm gonna add on to it. So I'm not scared of it, bro. I think the Clippers still hold it down. As long as they hold down the rebounds, that's the whole key to me. Like Zubac double double, I'm not mad at you for doing that as well. Like that's something that I'm thinking and considering. I did say that on the pup up yesterday, but I'm still thinking that, it's all about the rebounds. Who hold down the fort? You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a slow tempo game. I think my guy said before the show, he's like, it's gonna be a slow tempo game. I think it's gonna be a greedy game. Herb Jones is gonna show his defense off. It's gonna be some good game moments like that. But without Paul George now, it's going to even be more of an under game. You know what I'm saying? Because now you got somebody that was having all the scores. But for the most part, I think if you get that rebounds, bro, it's going to be a lopsided type game because I think the threes are going to be dropping for the Clippers, even with even without Paul George in the lineup. Especially you got Norman Powell there, got Roku who had just 40, damn near 50 points the other game without guys in the lineup there. So I'm liking this team. You already know I like to sip espresso as well. So one of the big guys go out. We look at the Amir Coffee stats. We're going to see if it's at 13 and a half, anything around there. We think he gets 15 points today if they're going to give him a burn. So Amir Coffee, I might be looking that direction as well. So I haven't locked in that yet, but I'm looking for this opener, bro. I'm looking for it to open back up, man. My book. I'm going to hit that shit one more time, bro. Probably on the money line, get a favorable number. So I like the Clippers, bro. I'm gonna lean to you, Eddie. I'm gonna lean to you, Eddie. What you thinking, man?
So it's hard for me to really give thoughts on this game because when I really looked at this game, I was looking at it with Paul George in the game. I haven't placed a wager in over 2 weeks. I just kind of took a sabbatical trying to clear my mind, man. But I wanted to play this game and I wanted to play it under. So now without Paul George in the game, I think it still moves towards that. I like that play a lot still. Two really good defensive teams, and you kind of spoke on it before the show. The team that's going to shoot the best obviously is going to win this game. But I really think it's going to come down to who plays some of the best defense. We know that the Clippers can switch everywhere 1 through 5. With Zubac off the floor, they can switch almost everywhere. They can play defense. They got wings galore. Paul George being out, like you said, they played some really good basketball without him being out. I mean, they got to the play-in without him. They did what they did without him. So for me, is it a huge piece to miss? Yeah, but like you said, man, it's an even trade-off. Luke Kennard for Paul George. It's cool, man. We're gonna be all right. So I think the Pelicans are gonna come playing defense. I really think they're gonna come play some good defense. You got Herb Jones doing all those good things. And I think the Clippers are gonna play good defense. So I don't know where the line opened back up at for the total, but if it's sitting anywhere around 216 or 219 where it originally was, I'm on that under for sure. But these two teams played 4 times this year, and they're 3-1 to the under. The Clippers themselves are like 15 out of the last 21 games under. The Pelicans themselves are like 9 of the last 13 games under. So teams that are just leaning under and playing good defense. I do think the Clippers. I like the Clippers before with Paul George in the -4.
Right.
I was to take a prop in this game. I like stars to be stars, man. So see, I was leaning Paul George, but yeah, I think stars will be stars tonight. That's what we're going to see from these 2 games, and I kind of like Brandon Ingram to have a decent night tonight.
Interesting enough, before I kick it to you, LJ, the line is back open now, -1.5 for the Pelicans. Again, no road team is won yet in the play-in. Kind of don't think the same thing for the next game that we were talking about as well, but that's another angle to harp on as well. But as far as this total, it's at 215. Really didn't move too much. It's at 216. Like, you know what I mean? So it really ain't really moved too much in my opinion. I'm gonna double check that. But From the looks of it,
I
it was
like
like
it.
216. Yeah, it was at 216. Got as high as 216 and a half, and then it plummeted. I believe it's obviously because of the Paul George news, but it didn't really plummet too far. Just 215. Like it's not that much of a thing. Pelicans, Pels locked, man. My guy said Pels locked. I understand. I understand. If you are on the Pelicans, I hope you got the 4. You feeling good about yourself. Like, you feeling good. Like my guy L just said, like he's locked in. At the same time, bro, I still think that the game plan still can work out. You know, somebody could fill in to what Paul George been doing all year, bro. You know what I'm saying? And again, I haven't looked at this prop yet. I haven't found this prop yet, but I am really going to look towards the Mere Coffee. If we get Amir Coffee allowed into this equation here, because it doesn't seem like they're adding him. They got Marcus Morris. They got Zubac, of course, Reggie Jackson. They threw in Nicola Batum. So I don't like any of those as far as props. Obviously, Reggie Jackson, somebody that stands out at 20 and a half. So he's going to see an uptick for sure. But I'm not putting my money on Reggie Jackson. You know what I'm saying? At all. I think you're looking more sort of like Norman Powell, because they don't have that yet here. I don't even see that at FanDuel. Let's see if I can find that somewhere else. But Norman Powell probably is a guy I would be looking at too. Norman Powell, Amir Coffee. But yeah, man, I like the Clippers here, bro. I'm gonna lock that shit in. As soon as I get the chance at money line, I think it's gonna be like even money or something like that. And yeah, man, I'm gonna make this a fucking 2 unit play, bro. If it was a 1 unit play, I ain't gonna hold you, man. I was not betting 2 units on the play in, but I'm gonna double back on this one, bro, just because I believe the line movement is okay. It's okay to have that line movement against me, but I'm gonna double back, bro. Double down what I'm saying here. Sometimes you're rewarded, sometimes you get your ass killed. You know what I'm saying? So it could go either way. You know what I'm saying? It could go either way. But other than that, man, that's an interesting start. That's an interesting start, bro. Very interesting start. The next game, it's the first game. And my wife, I put this down, I wrote this down. My wife likes the Hawks on the road to beat the Cavs. So that's how she's thinking. I didn't tell her everything about how bad the Hawks has been on the road. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to persuade her or anything. So I allowed her to have her own thoughts. People out there understand that's part of the marriage, bro. You can't just be out here just road dogging your damn, you know what I'm saying? Road like bulldozing your wife every day. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Y'all scandalous ass motherfucker. I was just like, but no, for the most part though, bro. Like in this game though, you're getting your guy Jared Allen back. You're getting Jared Allen back. Come on, bro. You're getting Jared Allen back. He's not officially announced in, but we know he's coming back unless they do healthy
You
protocols or
think
some
so?
shit. Yeah, he can get out too. He can get out too, bro. Who knows? But for the most part, I think he is going to play. That's going to help their defense out and their lob threat ability. As far as Evan Mobley, as good as he is, he's not that much of a lob threat as Jared Allen is. So going off those screens is going to allow him to get a little bit more easier lobs to the rim for Darius Garland. I just don't trust Karis LeVert. Obviously, Karis LeVert was, very suspect, I would say, for sure, in the last game. You know what I'm saying? In the last game, he very was suspect. Didn't know how to hold it down to allow the team to, just get easier buckets or get himself easier buckets. He wasn't doing the right things, in my opinion. Kind of looked like he didn't give a fuck. So, and it sucks too because it's like this Cavs team was really good with Rubio, and then they have to, go out and scramble. You know what I'm saying, to get somebody, and they think they get a guy in Karis LeVert that's going to help them, but man, I ain't never seen him play winning basketball, bro. Like, I just seen him get stats. Like, I just only seen him get stats. I never seen him play winning basketball as much. I've seen him have winning plays. Don't get me wrong, but just winning basketball, especially right now, it's starting to give me that James Harden feel in this guy. But neither here nor there. Karis LeVert on this team, I'm not going to back the Cavs. That's the only reason why I don't want to take the Cavs. I think the home teams does win today. Obviously, I talked about the Clippers. I think the Cavs win today as well. Just I don't want to put my money on him, bro, particularly. So I am looking towards props in this game. I do like the Darius Garland over 8.5 assists, which is at minus 130. But at the same time, you're thinking that it's going to happen. You might as well just go with the double double. So I'm looking for the double double prop here. I haven't locked this in yet, but that's the way I'm leaning. I'm thinking going back to the well with Darius Garland. We lost last game. I really, honestly, when I had the double double, I felt like I had the Cavs money line. You know what I mean? Because I'm looking at Darius Garland, pass it to Karis LeVert, And Karis LeVert has a pocket to shoot a floater, you know what I'm saying, to get a pass off or do anything. He runs into the defender. Same thing that Darius Garland was doing the last game against Brooklyn. It was just looking very suspect, bro. So I mean, I'm torn of jumping back on this, but that's kind of where I'm leaning here. If I have anything on this game, it's gonna be Darius Garland double double, bro. But that's it. I'll kick it to you, LJ. What you thinking on this game? The Hawks on the road against the Cavs.
Well, I'm leaning on the other side. I leaning towards the Hawks. I haven't locked it in yet, but as far as me doing the numbers last night, all of it points to the Hawks, especially the last four games that they played. They 3-1, if I believe, and Trey Young is averaging like 30 against this team. So the question is, can Cleveland stop the Hawks from penetrating Trey Young, dishing it out to the shooters, and they're making them shots? Because for one, can we trust marketing for Cleveland? He had 13 points the last game. You see what I'm saying? And like you just said, can we trust LeVert? He had 12 points the last game. So where are these points going to make up for if Jared Allen is not in the lineup? Now, if he comes in the lineup, that changes everything for me because he averaged a nice little amount of points. I think he averaged 15 and like 11 rebounds, when he played the Hawks this season. So if they're missing that presence in the paint and them rebounds, I think the Hawks can get them, especially with Clint Capella. And that was going to be one of my props. Clint Capella over 13 and a half rebounds because I think he's going to clean the boards up. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't think that Cleveland has enough bodies besides Mobley, that could keep them off the boards and get extra possessions for the Cavs. So, my opinion, I'm thinking Atlanta's going to come out hot. They're a good first quarter, first half team. Usually, they cover those spreads. So, I'm believing they're going to come out because Atlanta's a different team in the playoffs, in my opinion. See what I'm saying? They usually coast through the regular season. They're a good home team. But on the road, like
Right.
you say, you can't really trust them on the road. But
Nah.
for as the playoffs, I think this is going to be a different animal. And the props that I'm looking at, Trey Young over 3.5 3-pointers. I locked it at plus 125 because he's averaging 3.5 with the 3 wins that they played the Cavs this season. And also, I took a nice plus money on DeAndre Hunter. I think that's his name, his first name, DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah, DeAndre Hunter.
I
Yep.
took him, yeah, over 1.5 3-pointers at plus 117 because he's averaging 2.5 the 3 games that he played the Cavs this year. So, and
Wow.
then you got Gallinari. Then you got Bogdanovich coming off the bench. So I just think Atlanta got too much firepower for Cavs, to be honest with you. I think Garland can only do so much. I could see him, like you say, over 20, what you say, 25 and a half points, something like that.
Yeah,
He
yeah. I
could
can see
possibly
him
get
having
30.
that
Yeah, he
for
could get
sure.
30.
For sure.
But like I said, is Kevin Love gonna come and get you some contribution off the bench? He's like around like 14 points, off 11 attempts. So if he can give you more, then maybe they can make it a game. But as far as me, like I said, I'm leaning towards Atlanta. You see what I'm saying? And I believe that they could get it. But I ain't locked it in yet. I'm just waiting just to,
Right.
get my confidence up to see because I'm really waiting, like you just mentioned. You really think Jared Allen's gonna come into this lineup tonight. So if he comes in, then I may change it. But as far as right now, I'm leaning towards Atlanta.
Yeah, I think Jared Allen's gonna be in the game, bro. Yeah, I think he's gonna be in the game. And I wish I did have Kevin Love. That's was something I did mention yesterday on the Pub Up show. Yeah, I did have written down. I do like Kevin Love props, but they haven't been available. So we're gonna probably lock in. But I will say too, 58, I think it's 58%. I just looked at it. Um my apologies. DeAndre Hunter, yeah, 52% from three over the last 6 games, shooting about 2.8 attempts. I think it does go up a little bit more, especially the way they've been trying to play Trey in this play in last game. They tried to trap him early, even from the first gate. 2 people was running at him. So I expect that kind of be the type of game style or the game plan for this Cleveland team as well. Try to get the other guys involved, even though they did beat the team last game. That game plan didn't work because those other guys, they had almost like with 10 guys or about 8 guys with 8+ points or something around there. A lot of guys had double digits there. So DeAndre Hunter was one of those guys. He did hit those. He did hit 2 threes for sure in that game. I think it was 2 to 4 in the last game. So I do like that look a lot. And I remember Babano said he had that DeAndre Hunter play as well. I think it's at 13.5 points or 14.5 points for them. So that's a good look, man. I do think those are great looks, bro. What about you, Eddie, man? I mean, This is ice trade a game, bro. Ice trade a game. I don't think we said too much about Trey Young, but going the fuck off today. But ice trade a game, man. My guy, he likes the Hawks right there. LJ likes the Hawks. Ice trade a game, 40 points. What we doing, bro? What you thinking, man?
It wouldn't surprise me if he did drop 40 tonight. But honestly, something inside me tells me to want to go ahead and take the Cavs tonight. Look, you said they're getting Jared Allen back. Is he going to play a full role? If assuming that he plays a full role, he's playing all of his minutes. He's in the game. He's being that big presence in the paint like he is. I think the defense just automatically improves for the Cavs. They can run people off the 3-point line, funnel them into the paint. See what I'm saying? Into the middle of the defense, and just try to have those two big twin towers, so to speak, in Mobley and Allen doing what they do, what they've been doing all year. So it's going to help Garland tremendously in the pick and roll. Be able to, and I think that goes to what you said. I think it's going to allow him to play the offense the way that he usually plays it all season long, and go ahead and get those 10 assists. Now, I mentioned it earlier on the first game. I think stars will be stars tonight, man. So Garland, I think it's over 26.5 points or 24.5 or whatever it is. Take it, play it up to 30. I think he gets it. Over 2.5 threes is a little juice, but I think it's disrespectful. I think the dude is like 8-2 to that number, or 9-2 to that number in the last 11 games. That number is disrespectful. The Hawks don't play defense against anybody. DeAndre Hunter is the only thing on that team that resembles a good defensive player. So, and they give up the most points to the point guard over the last 7 games. Now, again, this is a one-off game, so you don't want to just apply everything to this one game as far as a season long. But when there's times like this, and I really think Garland has it built into him to play big in games like this. Real young guy, rising star in our league, right? Rising star in the NBA. Give me his 3-pointers over 2.5. Give me his points. If you want to take his assists, take them. And I got to lean to the Cavs, man. I think the Cavs want this game. I think they fought back in that last game, and it's left a bad taste in their mouth. They think that they know they can play better. They know they almost had that game back in their grasp when they let it go. So, yeah, I think they come out pissed off and ready to go. It would not surprise me at all if the Hawks were able to pull this off, because they are the Cinderella team, right? They did it last year. They looked really, really good. So it wouldn't surprise me, but my money would have to go to the Cavs. I'm going to stay off of a side and a total in this game, and I'm just going to play the stars, man. Like you said, Trey Young, 40 points, play it. Over 35, play it. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's Garland over his original number, and then play it up to 30. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but that's where I would go with him, and over 2.5 threes at -130. Like I said, it's juice, but I think it's disrespectful.
That's great. That's a great breakdown. And right now you're getting, I think Darius Garland, the best I've seen it at -127 for the over 2.5 threes. He's averaging 3 3-point makes over the last 6 games at 51% from 3-point shooting, 6 attempts. So he's getting the attempts, hitting 51% of that. Really like that play a lot. That's gonna make my car for sure. That 3-point makes that's gonna make my car for sure. I actually like that a lot better than the assist that I mentioned earlier, because like I said, like some of those guys looking very scared in the moment. I think Jared Allen comes back, allows Evan Mobley to fall into that wing presence on those switch offs. That's going to allow them to play a lot more tighter defense, what you guys are saying as well, that I forgot to mention. So I didn't write that down, but that's going to be a big improvement, because you got fucking Lauri Markkanen out there on that role. Hell no, you don't want Lauri Markkanen. You'd rather have Evan Mobley playing that type of defense. Lauri Markkanen was getting cooked by KD, you know what I'm saying, every chance he could. So in this game, there's no Kyrie being perfect on the Hawks side for me, and I don't think there's going to be Kevin Durant on that other side as well. So I think the stars do ball out though, and it's going to be Trey Young. He balled out in the last game against them. I think he could play pretty solid in this game too. So I do think the Cavs win though, like you guys are mentioning. So we all in agreement. So I think on there, if Jared Allen's in the lineup, it's a totally different game. He's going to see something a lot different from what we expect. But if he's not in the lineup, it does favor the Hawks, I would say. Because that, like I said, you got Lauri Markkanen playing Evan Mobley's role, bro. Like that ain't good. That ain't good right now. But yeah, man.
My bookmaker, my bookmaker just came up. So you say you got the Clippers. The Clippers are still favored, -1, -110.
Wow.
That says a lot, man. That says a lot. Vegas is saying, "Hey, look, Paul George is out this game." Come on now, man. I mean, it should have
Damn, you're
flipped.
right.
It should
You're
have
Yeah.
right. I
flipped
do
all
see
the
it.
way to the
I do
Pelicans.
see it. See, but now it makes me just leave it alone though. I ain't gonna lie. If I'm not getting plus money, it's no reason to double dip. You know, I might as well just take the
Yeah.
props. So I'm talking all that shit. But I think you're getting plus money at FanDuel. You're getting plus money at FanDuel at plus 100. So it's still they showing the
Okay.
Pelicans a little favorite there. So the market is a little confused right now, but I think the market will be moving in that direction though towards the Clippers because I still think, like I said, like I didn't even write down shit about Paul George. I just had him in there as a bonus, like in my mind, because he's a fucking superstar. You know what I'm saying? He should be
Yeah.
able to will this game at the end of the game. But now I'm hoping Reggie Jackson, that Mayor Coffee is cooking. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping my boys out there cooking for me out there. So I
We
think
also
I
gotta
think the
look at
Clippers are.
Kennard too.
No, yeah,
Gotta
for
look at
sure, for
Kennard,
sure,
Terrence
for
Mann,
sure.
Norman Powell. I think Norman Powell may get into the starting lineup now. I don't know how Ty Lue gonna do it, but if he put Norman Powell in the lineup and then concentrate on Covington, Mann, and Kennard coming off the bench to give him production, the Clippers could
Right,
win because this is a home game too. We're forgetting about that. The Clippers are at home, so
right, right.
Ty Lue's a
role
great
players,
coach, man. He'll be able to
yeah,
scheme
and
something
role
up.
players play
Off the
good
fly though,
at
it's gonna be
home.
off the fly.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, my guy Eddie got to dip up out of here. I appreciate you for joining us, bro. Anything you want to end off with the people? Any best bets that you have before saying you dip up out of here?
Yes, sir. So I gave it out in the Clippers. I got Clippers Pelicans under 215 if that's what the number's at right now. Take it. I think it goes under. I think we see a real good defensive game in that. Make it official. Minus 110. And then I'm taking Darius Garland. Like I said, I don't have the book in front of me, so I can't give you the exact numbers. But take his points where it's sitting at now, over 24 and a half or 26 and a half, wherever it's at. Play it up to 30. Plus, if you can get those numbers on your books, and then take his 3-pointers over 2.5 threes. It's minus 130. That's probably my favorite bet for him tonight. I think it's disrespectful. I think he hits that early. I think he's gonna hit it. Period. I don't like to use
Nice.
the L word. I'm not gonna say it, but that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at tonight with those 3 plays, man. Wham, as always, thank you, my brother, and we'll have to do it again soon.
Off top.
Hey,
Just before you
LJ
dip.
from Houston. Hey,
Oh yeah,
nice meeting you, my guy.
off
Appreciate
top.
meeting
Yeah,
you,
off
my guy.
top.
We're gonna
Shout
do a
out.
lot
Yeah,
more in the future for
off
sure.
top. But before I get you out of here, bro, real quick, anything that you have that sticks out to you for tomorrow? Utah, Dallas game, Memphis game, the Timberwolves, Philadelphia, Toronto, the Nuggets, Golden State. Any of those things that stick out? Because I know we probably ain't gonna do a show tomorrow. So
I don't care what the line is. If Toronto's getting points, take them.
that's right. I ain't mad at that.
Hey,
I ain't mad at
Sixers. Hey, Sixers are a first round exit. You heard it here first.
that.
Hey, I'm with
I
you,
know that was
Simba.
my
I'm
guy.
with you.
That was for real off top. That's my guy Eddie,
I'm
man.
with you.
Appreciate you, bro. You already know, man. It's all love. Appreciate you, King. But yeah, that's my bro right there. So yeah, man. So I was gonna think that was a good, perfect segue. That's why I asked him that question because I want to bring that up to you. Like, what we don't have to really harp on tomorrow's card too much, but
Mhm.
what is sticking out to you? Obviously, we just talked about the Toronto Raptors game, being on the road against the 76ers. I think I did hint around it too early in the show that James Harden, man, Karis LeVert got a little James Harden in him. You know what I'm saying? He just folding the pressure. You feel me? Not playing winning basketball. What do you think about this game, man? I know you're a H-Town, resident for damn near your whole life. You know what I'm saying? So you knew, what type of person Harden was. And we actually had conversations about this as well. So, give us some of your insight, LJ. You are from H-Town. You may have a little insight on James Harden. What should we be thinking, or what should we expect from him in this
You should
playoffs?
expect the same thing you've always seen from James Harden. He freezes up in big moments in the playoffs. We got a history of it. And like I said, I was working the Rockets media when Chris Paul was on our team. And it was so much tension between them two guys because Harden did not want to buy into team basketball. He wanted to isolate, he wanted to dribble, shoot the shot clock down, and he wanted Chris Paul to go stand over in the corner and wait for him to pass him the ball. And Chris Paul was like, "That's not basketball, bro." You get what I'm trying to say? Let me initiate the offense and I'll get everybody involved. So I seen it firsthand, man. I knew Chris Paul was not going to be on this team because we were right there from beating Golden State. We was up 3-2, and we was a hamstring away from possibly beating those guys and going to the finals. So, far as him being on Philly now, I'm with your man Simba, man. I think they going out in the first round. I think they drew a bad matchup with Toronto because Siakam is averaging 38-8 against Philly this year. So
Mm.
he thrives off this matchup. And Harden is only averaging 15 points in 2 games versus Philly. I mean, since the Raptors, since being on Philly. So my thing is this, man. The coach, Doc Rivers, he's going to have to come up with a great game plan because when they go on the road, he's going to be on a man down with Thibault. He's already going to be a man down. So who's going to make up for that production? Danny Green, Tobias Harris? Like, who is he going to depend on in case Harden is not on? Because Harden is streaky. He may get you 31 game. He may come back and give you 10. Who knows what James Harden is going to do? But he does dishes and distributes on a consistent basis. So I'm expecting like 10, maybe 11 assists. But like I said, is all of them going to go to Embiid? Because Embiid going to probably have to get you close to 40. So, but I just think they're outmatched, man. You got Van Fleet. You got Scotty Barnes. You got Siakam, like I said. And I'm missing one more. Gary Trent Jr. That's what I'm missing. Gary Trent Jr. So all 5 of those players can get you constant production in that start lineup. And not to mention, don't they have Thaddeus Young on Toronto coming off the
They
bench? I think
have,
they have
yes,
him
they
on the
do.
team as
Yes, they
well.
do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
So they can get contributions from pretty much 6 or 7 guys, man. So I'm with your boy. I'm leaning towards Toronto taking Philly out in the first round, man. That's what I'm saying. And it'll be unfortunate because if Embiid gets the MVP, we will have another player getting the MVP, not making the conference finals. So
A lot of people, I think, have an expectation to see how Embiid plays in this game, and he just recently spoke about what he expects the Toronto Raptors defense to do in this game. So he's expecting them to try to get the ball out of his hands. He's not coming in there to drop 40 points. He said he's not trying to come in here in his games to drop 40 points or anything like that. He's trying to come in as a facilitator. And that alone tells me that the 76ers are behind the 8 ball. You know what I mean? Like, they don't understand who they're playing with or
yeah.
who they're like or who their personnel really is. Like, I've said this before, since they traded Seth Curry, their best shooter is going to be George Niang. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to be the best shooter that they have. Now, he doesn't play as much defense. As much time. He doesn't play as much time. He's coming off the bench. The guys that they have available off jump, I believe it's what Tyrese Maxey. You got James
Yeah.
Harden. You don't have Thibault on the road, but you're gonna have them at the house, so they are at home to start the season, the series. So you're gonna have Thibault out there, and then you get, James Harden and obviously Embiid, of course. So now you get that starting lineup is it doesn't really move me, bro. It doesn't really move, but at the same time, I understand why you putting it out there because you got Maxey who could create for himself. You got these other guys that can create for himself, and James Harden. And you just pretty much, what I'm saying, you lacking. You got your defender guy and Thibault, but you're really lacking because the guy that I didn't mention, he's not really out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Tobias Harris, he's not out there. You feel me? Tobias Harris should be the guy that's going to give you the extra push, the shooter, but he's not that guy. So I would say this: Tobias Harris this year, he's shooting 36% from 3, shooting 48% from the field. So he's not having a bad year, but this is not the level of production that you need from somebody that's going to be demanding that type of contract, that's taking up this much money. He's not going to give you that much production to give you that validates this is a great fit for us. So I think that along with them not having any shooters, is going to just make this a real scrappy series. And I think Toronto does win 1 or 2 games, maybe both games in Philadelphia. I think they could win 1 game for sure, though. I think they can win 1 game for sure, and that's going to throw a big wrench in this situation because now you got like your best defender now can't play in Toronto, and you're really relying on Tobias Harris to do even more now. Now you having him to do a lot more now. And then you get guys like George Niang, of course, but coming off the bench is not going to really help you too much. I think the bodies that they could throw at you, Chris Boucher, Precious Achua, uh, not I just fucking Sam, not Kim Birch, those guys, you could throw a lot of bodies at Embiid. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of action in that direction.
Mhm.
Even if they don't want to double them, they still have action to stop everybody else around. So they could let Embiid just win. They could just let Embiid get 40 and just
Yeah.
lock down on everybody else. And that could be their game plan since y'all talking too much shit before the game. You know, I think Doc Rivers is doomed. He's out of this. I think a lot of people know if this is an early exit, he's going to be going, and then they're going to try new from there. And maybe you'll hear noise about James Harden not liking Doc, and Embiid not really liking Doc, and that try
Mhm.
to validate the season or some shit like that. But I think this is definitely what my guy Simba said. It's an early exit for them, and looking good over there, Coach Nurse. You're looking good over there, Coach Nurse. I hope you come to the Lakers, bro.
Yeah, man, I agree. Like I said, it's just a bad matchup. And for as are we going to trust James Harden to show up? I mean, he like, because see, my thing is this: when he first left Houston, he said he wanted to go to Philly. You see, that was the first choice, but you end up in Brooklyn. So I'm just trying to understand, what was the point of going to Brooklyn when you wanted to be in Philly? I mean, was they trying to figure out what they was going to do with Ben Simmons? You see what I'm trying to say? Because we wasn't going to take Ben Simmons for James Harden for the
Right,
Rockets. You see what
right,
I'm saying?
right.
So I don't understand that, because him and Daryl Morey got this sort of connection that they want to be together. You see what I'm saying? So they got a little arrangement. I don't know what's going on, but
Man, hey, hey, do they thing, man. Let everybody be happy, bro. You
well, I mean, yeah, like I said, I'm looking for Toronto because, like I said, it's at +4 right now. +4.5.
Mhm.
So I haven't locked it in yet. I was gonna go through some more numbers just to validate my
Right.
play,
Yeah, it's
but
an early look.
yeah, but I'm leaning towards Toronto. So for the
That's
series, for
not.
sure.
What about any of the other games? I do got action on this next game. I would just bring up here Denver at Golden State. Um, I didn't lock in that Toronto, but I am like you. I'm thinking of locking that in money line,
Hmm.
or for at
Hmm.
least the first two games, and then obviously it's going to be flipped to them being favorites on the road. I mean at
Hmm.
the house. But Denver at to Golden State going to San Francisco. Line is right now, I believe it's at 223. It was at 223.5 yesterday,
Yeah, it's
from what I
223 and
remember.
a
And that
half.
was
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that was even after the Steph Curry. I mean, Steph Curry was announced that he's going to be looking to play, more likely to play in this game. Denver obviously has been playing pretty good offense all year long. Golden State, and they've been playing really good defense, but not as of late, of course. It's just one of those things. Like Golden State, they played pretty well down the stretch. I would say they played pretty well down the stretch, but it isn't really like a down the stretch that I'm going to be proud of, because the games that they were really meaningful games, they were losing bad. So last time you really seen Golden State at true form, they weren't really that good. Maybe guys were really hurt, or maybe they were just you know going through the motions again, guys in and out the lineup. Maybe that could be an excuse there, but I just don't really buy in on Golden State this year, but I do buy in on them against Denver Nuggets. And the reason why is because I just feel like the talent level is so far as a a gap. If you get guys to click at all cylinders, like you got Hall of Famers on one side and you have an MVP, you know what I mean, that's going to be announced MVP, back to back MVP on the side for Jokic, who can rack havoc in the game, but he can be a defensive liability, you know what I mean, a lot of the time. And I expect
Yes.
against this team that shares the ball a lot to have this motherfucking all types of action. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? All types of action. Don't get me wrong. When he's on the other side of the floor, he's going to be dropping triple doubles. Had the most triple doubles this year. And it was another historic year for guys just all around game, like DeJounte Murray with him himself. Like, this guy's is just giving you that all around game. He's been doing that for sure. Denver, now, they have been kind of consistent. I would say Will Barton has played really well this year. He's been that second piece that really he's that second shot maker for them. And that's what they've been missing these last few playoffs. Having a guy like Will Barton that gives you that street element that could play, get his bucket. He could get his bucket, and if you need a bucket, he could get it. But against this Golden State team, I feel like there's going to have Kuminga out there on display, who's going to have, maybe even throw guys in like Moses Moody, who shows flashes that they just been holding back, not showing you no more.
Yeah, I like Moody.
They
I
have
like
a lot
Moody.
of guys that they could just throw that, that could fit in this type of game style against this team at least. So I really like Golden State to win, maybe in 5, maybe 6 against Denver. In this first game, I think they will show up, play really well. I'm not going to lay the 6.5 though, because I just think they're going to be able to score on this team. I'm not sure if their defense is going to be right off the jump, locking down Denver. So I think the over is a spot here. I did take the first half over 114 last night. That's an official play for me. So I did lock that one in with this game. That's kind of how I'm looking, bro. That's the only way. I think the tempo is going to be there. I think these guys are going to play great offense off top Golden State and Denver. I just don't think the defense is going to automatically click there. So I do believe it will be an intense game because it's playoffs, but I think these guys get what they want out of each other on the offensive end. So that's the way I'm thinking here, bro. What about you? If this is not a game that you're really interested in, anything else other game that you're interested in for tomorrow, bro?
Well, what stands out to me in this series is that the Denver beat them all 3 times this year.
Right.
You see, and but the key thing is that I don't think Draymond Green played any of those
Yeah, it wasn't
games.
full lineups on any of those
Yeah,
games.
and he's a very important piece to Golden State. You see what I'm saying? He's their, igniter. He's basically the point guard, in my opinion. He
Right.
facilitates everybody, gets everybody in the right positions. He gets Clay and Steph on the right court to get their shots. And I believe I'm with you. I'm definitely gonna lock in the over because both of these teams score high. You see, and as far as the side, I'm not sure about the side yet, but I'm just a big believer that if one player on your team is your leading points, your leading rebounder, your leading assists, that's gonna catch up with you eventually, especially in playoffs when the game slows down and every possession counts. I really feel that Golden State has more initiators. Like you got Wiggins that can create a shot. You got Clay that could shoot. You see, and like you say, you even got Gary Payton Jr. A lot of people underestimate him. He's like 6'1". He played like he's 6'6".
Crazy defense, bro.
Like
Crazy.
seriously. So he locks down too. And then you got Jordan Poole as a flamethrower. So
Man.
I think the Warriors just got too much firepower for Denver. But it's somebody on Denver that I like. My boy Bones Highland. When he comes in the game, he is not scared to shoot, bro. Like he will get you maybe 3 or 4 threes when he come in that lineup. Like, and he's not scared. So I love his tenacity. But as far as like Aaron Gordon, Morris and what's the I forgot the other guy's name. But like I said, I just think that they're too inconsistent for this type of
Right.
matchup. And I'm going to probably lean towards Golden State, but I think Steph Curry hasn't officially been ruled in yet. They say he's looking
Nah,
to
not yet.
play. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
right.
once I get that official, then I'll make a decision on my side. But as far as the total, I'm right there with you. I'm going over. What's the over
Yeah,
223
and,
and a
and
half?
there's
Yeah,
other guys that's questionable. I think Will Barton, Aaron Gore, Monte Morris. I expect all those guys to play. So
yeah,
I
for
really
sure.
didn't mention that in anything. But Steph Curry is probable, so he's most likely to play. I think he will be in there. I think in more have an issue with Wiggins and
Hmm.
Otto Porter. Otto Porter looked like he really hurt himself on that last game.
Mm.
So I think that may be the more concerning ones there. But yeah, man, we'll kind of end up out of here, bro. I think what I'm saying, we've been on here for 44 minutes. You feel me? We appreciate everybody for tuning in, hopping in, sharing their dialogue with us. James Lil, you already know. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Mean Green Pigs, Frank Vega, my guys. We got to see Frank Vega out there in San Antonio. Got to hang out with him as
My
well.
boy
My
Bay,
another just
yeah.
cool brother. Man, appreciate you. Yeah, man. Appreciate everybody out here, man. Mark, DJ Big Boss, you already know it's all love. So we'll end up out of here, man. On that note, I'll just say my best bet for today was going to be the Clippers, bro. But obviously, without Paul George shit, I just feel like beating people up.
Fight back, nigga! Fight back, nigga! Fight back! Fight back!
But it's all about love today. It's all about love. It's a beautiful day outside, and it's all about love. And I would say my best bet for sure, and it's gonna be for tomorrow's game. The Denver Nuggets First half over 114 is what I got it at. I think you're getting at 114 and a half right now, if I'm not mistaken. So, um, I'm looking in that direction. I do still like the Clippers. If you could get plus money, definitely take the Clippers. They're going to win today. But I'm just going to stay away from as far as get double dipping that out. I think that's probably the best bet there. So, other than that, man, LJ, anything you want to give out your best bet? How these people could find you, man? What else you got going on, bro?
For sure, man. I got two best bets today for sure. Like I said, I locked in the Pelicans last night at +4, but now you see what I'm saying. I may be going towards the under, like your guy kind of convinced me on that under since Paul George is out. I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be like a defensive game pretty much. So I'm gonna lock in that under as well. And then on the other game, Atlanta and Cleveland, I locked in the first half over 114 because the Hawks are real, real good first quarter, first half for scoring. They average like 60 something in the first half. So I think Cleveland can at least get you maybe 55, somewhere around there. So I'm going to lock in that first half over 114 and a half. And then I got the Pelicans full game +4, but now it's +1 -110. So for show purposes, I'm gonna take the +1 -110 for the Pelicans. So, but yeah, y'all can follow me, LJ from H Town, LJ from Houston, either one you want to call it. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're gonna do a show today, Raw Words Podcast at 4 p.m. Eastern. Well, Central. I'm sorry. 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central,
Nice,
right after the pub show today. It'll be. Are you on the pub show
nice.
today?
Yeah, I'm on the pub show today.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna do a show right after the pub. You see what I'm saying? If you want to hop
Nice.
on, you can hop on. I seen the link. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if you want to do 3 shows in one day. So I don't know how
It'd be
you
like
feeling
that.
about it though. But yeah, we're gonna do a show today. So go on YouTube today, hit the like button, subscribe. Raw Words Podcast on YouTube today, 4 p.m. Central. We talking NBA play-ins to 2 games today, and we're gonna preview some of the games for this weekend.
Nice, nice. For sure. Always hopping on my guy. You already know LJ from H Town. LJ from H on Twitter. And you know who I am, TrotWAM on Twitter, Walter Trotter the Sun. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Other than that, we'll be back, bro. Peace, man. Have a good one, man.